Boom. This is no gimmick that I'm trying to sell you guys, okay? And that's what I realized this morning, was that for the longest time on my spiritual journey and trying to build the life that I was wanting to build, work towards the goals I was wanting to bring into my life, practicing semen retention, practicing meditation, practicing the prayer, all of it. This strategy, it's not necessarily a strategy, it's just a way of life that I'm sharing with you guys of detachment, is a no gimmick way to bring the things into your life that you wish to attract. You have to realize that when there is some anxiety or fear or stress or worry about the things happening for you, okay? And I don't know if the spiritual community and YouTubers or people who talk about these things or just people in general realize that a lot of times the messages are centered around really having to work hard, really having to take care of yourself, really having to follow strict principles, really having to take yourself very seriously, or follow all these guidelines, or eat vegan, or meditate 30 minutes per day. All of these spiritual principles put a lot of pressure on you. They put a lot of grip tight pressure on your life for the things you're looking to make happen, materialize. For some people, this grip tight pressure is going to bring those things into their life. I am not against following spiritual principles if things are going well for you. I do believe in sacrificing some vices for the universe to bless you. I do believe that that actually does happen. And I've seen it work with my own eyes through semen retention, through giving up vices, through giving up whatever, through fasting as well. But what I've come to realize is that it is actually your inherent placebo belief that those things do work. Because there has been an energetic signature placed on this sort of sacrifice in this game. Any place that has an energetic signature, an energetic imprint left on it here in this world will hold weight. It's the same way with Jesus Christ. It's the same way with Buddha. It's the same reason why you have a feeling when you walk into a temple where many people have prayed over for thousands of years. It's the same reason why, because there has been an energetic signature left on those people or those places or those religions or those beliefs. Like a certain level of enough people believing in some certain thing actually does make it a reality here. You have to realize how powerful you yourself actually are to do that. But the reason why I bring all of that up is because I'm going to simplify all of it for you. I'm going to simplify all of it. Because the truth is that I noticed these things working for me. I noticed how when I would sacrifice food or when I would sacrifice pleasure, that my life would start to look a little better. I would start to feel internally confident more. I would start to then feel better about myself, so I started to look better, etc. I mean, like, these are obvious things that kind of everyone subconsciously understands. But what I realized is that there was an underlying, deep-rooted pressure, anxiety, worry, and fear about my life not going the way that I wanted it to. And what I've come to realize is that the simplest method to really attracting and getting the desires that you're looking to acquire is full detachment. Detachment from all these methods, detachment from all these strategies, detachment from all the material items that the Matrix has to offer. Detaching from all of these things will ultimately shift your internal state, your internal being, to an incredibly magnetic place. And this detachment goes very deep. This detachment goes into ego. This detachment goes into very deep things. So I'm not sitting here telling you that I've completely detached from this world. In fact, that is very untrue. And in fact, I went to Chick-fil-A this morning because I like the Chick-fil-A breakfast. So shout out Chick-fil-A. But I just wanted to tell you guys that, like, I'm not detached from this world, but I see how the benefit of this is slowly working in my life. Because all in all, the truth is that those sacrifices that people have made for thousands of years, those energetic signatures that they have placed on religion and Jesus Christ and all of these people who were people, they placed that internally to assume that by following that path, by sacrificing these things, they placeboed their internal into believing that they were worthy of receiving certain circumstances, because internally they felt that they, guess what? This is the powerful part. Internally, they felt that they deserved it. When you have an energy of detachment about money, when you have an energy of detachment about friends or partners or material items, whatever the case is, when you are like actually energetically detached from seeing your world change, you become so magnetic internally because you genuinely do not care to see it change. You genuinely are completely content with the reality you're living in this exact moment. That removes you from fear. It removes you from stress. It removes you from anxiety. It removes you from what these people think about you. It removes you from all these societal constructs of having to have your life figured out, have all of these things that you have to go do and see and be in this flesh body you are. Now, when you hear me talk about detachment, especially with yesterday's video, I received a comment there talking about, is there a possibility that you could be too detached? Like you become too detached. And I think likely some of you may be thinking the same. When you hear these concepts, you think, well, what does like full detachment look like? Well, full detachment looks like someone just laying in bed, sleeping all day, not eating food, not drinking water, just like in full meditation, or I don't even know, just not doing anything. That's not the reality of actually receiving this real detachment, because the more you detach, the more you are guided. And actually, it works in a beautiful way where instead of consciously sort of making the decisions, consciously sort of going through the motions of life and planning out things and having all of these goals or whatever, you are actively, intuitively guided. And surprisingly enough, the more you detach, actually, it's very likely that the more your set path is shown to you. And instead of feeling like some spiritual hippie guru loser who is just doing nothing all day, instead it's more so of an extreme guidance that is not bound by fear or stress or anxiety or worry. Instead, it is your pure soul's authentic path, and you will be shown how to reach it. In fact, I do believe that this somewhat ties hand in hand with reality shifting and frequency here when it comes to embodying the reality you wish to bring into your life. So a lot of people in the spiritual space will tell you to embody the frequency of the person you wish to become. So if you wish to become some sort of wealthy business owner, you should internally shift to the feeling of a wealthy business owner. And this sort of goes hand in hand with feeling guided when you detach, because if you are to shift to the feeling of a wealthy business owner and you are to carry conviction in that shift where you truly feel like that person, the universe has no choice but to lead you to that reality. And it will lead you there through intuitive guidance. All of the sudden, you will be playing out the life and the vision and the circumstances, and you will be doing the things that a wealthy business owner would be doing to reach becoming a wealthy business owner. It's not an overnight click that just happens. Obviously, we all know this. It's a set of pillars and things that are happening and changes that will be done to your life to let you reach it. People get thrown off with this sort of concept when they start to be attached to seeing reality change. They start to look at this game and say, well, if I shift to this person and I have so much emotional conviction behind it, and I'm actively trying to change my life and do these things, and nothing is working, you realize that you're acting from a very fear-based mentality. You're acting from a place of worry, of anxiety, of stress about seeing things change. This is why detachment is so powerful. I'm not telling you to reality shift to becoming a specific version, to becoming a wealthy business owner. I'm actually telling you to completely detach from all shifting. I'm telling you to completely detach from everything. Watch how you're intuitively guided when you do this. Peace.